Just a quick recap. Stuart's number 5 was Chaplin. Number 4 was This Is Spinal Tap. Number 3 is Endgame. And number 2 was Interstellar, not Avatar. Okay, so here's the big one. Are you ready, Stu?
You are Stuart's Lord.
Okay.
I don't think I need to say anything here.
Maybe not.
I think you know. I don't need to give any clue or anything.
I think I might know, but I can't.
Because what has actually happened since we did one on in November to now? There's only one really big film come out since then. Let's be honest.
Ross.
Is it the MCU again?
Oh, it may possibly be.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, let's just assume we know what it is. We won't reveal it just yet.
No.
I don't think it's as good as Endgame.
Can I ask, because I know you did, I think you have done a podcast obsessively about it, haven't you? Now, I have not listened to that podcast. Okay. For the pure reason that I don't know what you think about it or your views on it.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, for the listeners, because otherwise we are just being pretentious bastards, aren't we?
Yeah.
Let's reveal the name now.
Yeah.
So 3, 2, 1.
Spider-Man. 3.
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Yeah.
Far From Home.
Yeah.
No Way Home.
Homecoming.
No Way.
Is it Far From Home or No Way Home?
Oh, you might be right. You might be right with Far. I can't remember now.
Doesn't even know what it's called. His favourite film ever. Doesn't know what it's called. Let me just have a look.
Spider-Man, No Way Home.
No Way Home. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I do know what it's called.
Well, we'll start by saying that we both thought it was shit. I'm joking. We loved it. We loved it. Yeah. Quality material. Like Beskar, the best.
So
the best
can
material.
So when we had our chat, I think last year, obviously we knew it was coming, and I think we all said, I'm sure had Eternals not been on by then. I think Eternals had been on, and I think I said how bad it. And I think obviously it, my worry was it could either, we're just going to be. I think I can't remember if I had the conversation with you or if I had a conversation with other people that the MCU had to reset after Endgame. It had to reset. We had to start again, and maybe that's what we're thinking Eternals was. It was a start again, and it was shit, and maybe they were going to get better. We never anticipated they would get to that level that quick.
Yeah,
because we went into the cinema. I mean, there was a lot of rumors. If people haven't seen it, why haven't you?
Since 6 months
the fact
ago,
that the two other ones came back. The fact that Toby and Andy came back. We really didn't know at that time when I went to see it at the cinema. And what I loved is that Andy was the first one. I thought that was brilliant. I thought the fact that he came in first, I thought was fantastic. And the cheer in the cinema was weird because a lot of people were cheering. Other people think, nobody knew he was ever a Spider-Man.
Right.
I don't think people ever watched The Amazing Spider-Man. And then when Toby turned up, everybody said, oh yeah, now we understand. So, but the cheer, the audience participation was amazing in my cinema, and it made for the whole event. But for me, and again for my sister, they righted all the wrongs of the previous two films, previous two generations, because we were upset that obviously, it was Tobey Maguire was Spider-Man, and we were so annoyed when Andy Garfield came in. We thought, What's happened with Toby? Why? That's a shame. Why have they got rid of him?
Because it's a fucking wet tea bag.
Well, and then Andy's came in, and now when you go back and watch The Amazing Spider-Man, they're bloody good films.
Yeah.
They're all of them are good films.
Yeah.
You know, every single one has been amazing films. But what really wound me up in The Amazing Spider-Man is that they killed Gwen.
Yeah.
That scene was traumatic. And I just thought, oh my God, why would you do that? That's a rented way. Why? And to correct it in this film is just ridiculous.
When you realise that every Spider-Man has had a sacrifice, has had a death.
Well, yeah.
in the
Yeah.
family.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they've all had like, you know, but
when you mean do you mean when he was able to save MJ? Is that what you mean? Yeah.
That scene is just, even now when I watch that, I completely just melt. It's just, and what gets you is he says, "Are you okay?" And she says, "Are you?" Oh my God, that scene is just, and his face is just, oh my word, it's just everything. It's just, wow. The whole film, but it's two films. And again, this goes back to, you know, up until the point of his Aunt May dying, that is one film.
Yeah.
And then you get another film when they come in it. And it's just, oh my God, how do you know, you've had an hour or just over an hour, I think, up until when Aunt May dies.
Yeah.
And then you get them coming in. And then you've got this complete other film again. And it just ticks every single box for me. It's the action, the emotion, as I say, right and the wrongs of the other films. It's just incredible. Yeah, you know, and I think I put in a text to you when I saw it the second time, how good Andy Garfield is in it. And, you know, Tobey Maguire being a bit, yeah. But it's just a great film. And the comedy in it is brilliant, just the one-liners.
Yeah.
It's just perfect. It is just perfect in every way it could be. It's just, I mean, don't get me wrong, Endgame is still an amazing movie, and yeah, it's up there, but this I can't explain. It just righted that wrong of Gwen dying, you know, the whole fact of bringing them back, the whole scene, and even the scene with Doctor Strange at the end where because obviously he was annoyed with him, and does he say something like, but we will, he doesn't quite say the word, but he insinuates he loves it. And I just thought, oh my God, it was just the dialogue. Everything about that film is written perfectly. It's just amazing.
I think the thing about Endgame is we knew it had to be big, and we knew it was going to be big.
Yeah.
And I think thinking back to last time when we talked about Eternals that we noticed some chaff. I think you said, Ross, and around that time. So I wasn't actually expecting that much from Spider-Man.
No,
at
and
all.
I think that was what the shock was. And my brother actually said it perfectly. He said it's understated. Everything in that film is understated. It's just very simple dialogue. Even the scene when the three of them are on the top of the school where he's completely distraught that his auntie's passed. And it's like he's looking at him as if, you've got no idea what I'm going through. And then he turned and said, well, my uncle died. And I went through it. And then he turned and said, well, my Gwen died. You know, and it's just that the interaction, the pure emotion in those scenes, you don't get that in many films. And the fact it's a fucking sci-fi film and you get that pure emotion in it, it's fucking ridiculous. And to write it like they do, it's just amazing. It is just an incredible film. And, you know, I'll probably end up watching it in the next 2 days because I just want to watch it again. It's just bloody amazing. It really is.
I think what, I think it had been out for about a month before I saw it because we were away. Because we went.
And you were
quarantining
as well, weren't you?
We went to the I was quarantining, so I didn't want to risk it because we were going to the Emirates for 10 days. Right. So I didn't get to cinema, and I was avoiding any spoilers or plot lines or anything. I was avoiding like the plague. But what I did get was that there was every possibility that they've gone all out.
Yeah.
But I didn't know to what extent.
Yeah.
And I had an idea that Willem Dafoe was going to be in it, which could only mean one thing. So it was like, so it was like, and then we rented it and watched it at home. And you're saying it righted the wrong of Gwen dying. I think it righted the wrong of a lot of dog shit Spider-Man films, to be honest.
Oh yeah. No, totally right. No, you're right.
Because the Tom Holland Spider-Man has rescued is very quickly turned into one of my favorite superheroes because of Tom Holland's version. I thought that Tobey Maguire. I've got no time for the man. I think he's just an absolute flop on. and then you've got. And then you've got, and then you just let Simon have his.
And write that down. and
then Andy Garfield for me is like pothead Spider-Man. He's like if Spider-Man was to be a weed face, it's Andy Garfield. I just can't. I just didn't like, and I do need to go back and watch it again because this could very well be my historic opinions of Marvel.
I think with like I say, when we watched it, we went back. I actually bought them all on Blu-ray, bought a box set. Never watched them because we found they were on absolutely everything. They were either on Sky, Prime, or Netflix, so I didn't really need to buy the box set at the end. Or by time I think one of them wasn't, and then it ended up being on something. So I think they put it on because obviously the popularity of it.
Spider-Man 2 wasn't available anywhere.
No. But I think it dropped somewhere. I can't remember where it was now, but it did end up being on something. But yeah, the Tobey Maguire one, when he goes off on the rail, you think, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah. Didn't he go into like a jazz club or something?
Yeah. And then you had Josie Scott and Chad Kroger right in the theme tune, which is an abomination in itself. And they know that a hero can save us. And not gonna stand here and wait. Two of the most detestable people in rock and roll, whining like little fucking wankers that they are. Just disgusting, absolutely disgusting, that theme tune.
Yeah, no. But yeah, no, I totally agree. Totally agree with you on they right so many wrongs. But you mentioned there William Dafoe. His line at the end where they put him out and he goes, "What have I done?"
Yeah.
Amazing. Just amazing.
The thing that got me hard was when because I used to watch the Spider-Man cartoons, and the sort of closing shots of the intro to the Spider-Man cartoons was so fucking cool. The theme tune was cool. Nickelback were nowhere to be seen, thank fuck. And it was just such a cool animated intro, and if you remember, it ended with Venom's tongue wrapping around the word Spider-Man, and it was just ace. And the Green Goblin would swoop at the camera, and he would throw one of his little smoke grenades or whatever it was, and it was just a really cool animation. I used to love the opening part to the cartoons. And Green Goblin always used to say, "Will Spider-Man come out to play?" And it's that scene towards the end when you realise that like all of the villains are accounted for now, except that little cunt is still out there somewhere, and he's obviously got to make it. And then he appears by saying that line, "Will Spider-Man come out to play?" And that was one of the moments where I was sat in the living room. I was like, "Fucking come on!" Yes, immediately rock hard like that, solid. You could stand
not a flop on anymore.
It was going nowhere, straight through the jeans, bang. It's like it was just boff.
It was like you
Nothing
in that.
Was stopping
it was
that.
like you in that lecture theatre.
The lights flickered. It came through with such force. Fatima thought there was someone at the door. It set the doorbell off. It was just bang, ding, ding, ding. The motion of it. The doorbell thought someone was walking past the house.
Fatima was looking for a DHL driver. There was less than a second between it perforating the boxes and smashing through the jeans. There was no stopping that thing, and he came swinging in. I was like, "Fucking get him!" But I do have. There are some criticisms and issues I have.
Go on
With it.
I think that the whole Tom Holland was a reckless little scrot for that, for all that to take place. Because obviously he's angry.
Oh, without a doubt,
he's upset because none of them have got into the same college.
Jesus Christ!
And then Doctor Strange is saying to him, "You're being a little fucking scrot here. You need to chill. Like, have you even tried calling up the bloody college and speaking to them?" And you immediately come to me to alter time, you little knob. And you sat there thinking, yeah, you're right. And he's just an entitled little wanker because he's friends with the Time Lord. And then he's distracting him, and you're watching thinking, will you fucking pack it in? And in fairness, Doctor Strange is doing the same thing. He's going, will you fuck off? I'm trying to focus here. But he's not as severe with him as what he needed was a fucking backhand.
Oh, you're right.
He needed just quickly sparking, and then he could have done his thing. But he's, will you fuck off? And he's going, no, wait, make sure you fucking just shut up a second. I'm trying to fucking do a spell here. Will you fuck off? And then it all goes wrong. Aunt May is dead 100% because of Tom Holland being a little wanker.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
And I actually thought that the thing that confused Spider-Man is hard, isn't he? He's hard.
Not as hard as
the erection that perforated me.
Yeah.
But fucking just bang! It was like the Infinity Stones locking into Tony Stark's gauntlet. Thunk, 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 thunk through every leg.
This erection is inevitable.
I didn't think I was going to survive it. My entire body was white as a sheet, and there was every ounce of blood was just in one place. Just this bright red glowing erection in the center of the room, setting everyone's car alarms off.
Like a sonic boom had just blasted over Allerton Bywater.
It broke the sound barrier.
Of all the things you think, Willem Dafoe could have achieved in his life, this has got to be. He needs to know what he did.
The impact of it.
The impact he had on you is, never mind the millions he would have got paid for the film, just to know.
I was as surprised as anyone. Imagine being me. I was just sat back like, bang!
His dinner was on his lap. That went everywhere.
I thought something had landed on the roof.
Oh my word! Oh God!
So and the other. So back to my original point. Obviously, Spider-Man is a tough cookie, right?
Yeah.
He always prevails, no matter how big and bad the enemy is. Spider-Man usually does a pretty good job. He gets the shit kicked out of him, doesn't he? By the Green Goblin. Yeah. Body slams him through the floor, straight through the floor.
Yeah,
he put him through that floor like my cock went through my jeans. It was like a knife through butter. It was just straight through, absolutely zero resistance.
No resistance whatsoever.
Nothing was stopping that from coming through the jeans.
Oh God! Oh my word!
I've been scared of it happening since.
Oh my word! Oh God!
It's the only reason I rent films from home now instead of at the cinema.
You've been banned! You never go again! Oh my word!
Oh, we were drawing your membership card.
Yeah, we can't take your payment out of the bank, sir. We had to cancel your direct debit. You're trying to behave in the cinema.
We're legally not allowed to touch that screen.
Oh God! Oh my word! There have been times, Simon, on our shows over the years where we've got into hysterics. This being probably the highest, I think, of all of them. The only other one is when we're doing accents, and you said aardvark. That's the only other time I can think of being in hysterics like this. Oh my word!
You should listen to the rest of these shows, Stu.
I know, maybe.
Oh,
But that's about. I mean, so yeah, those are me criticisms. Is I was that annoyed with all of these events as unfolded because Tom Holland has been a little wanker.
No, you're totally right.
And I'm thinking,
I would argue that Spider-Man in every version of Spider-Man,
not that bad.
Aunt May or Uncle whatever his name, Uncle Ben.
Rico.
Yeah, Uncle Rico. Always dies because Spider-Man's being a knobhead.
Yeah.
It happens in all of them. You know, in the original comics, he lets the robber go who ends up killing him because he's being a dick. So I think that's a common theme with Spider-Man, just sort of full stop. And obviously the big erection obviously helps.
Yeah. But let's be honest, the whole thing of any Tom Holland thing has always been Tony Stark sort of trying to rein him in.
He's more jovial, isn't he? He's more.
Yeah, he definitely.
He's more like he is a kid. He's the youngest Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I think they have made
school.
that a fundamental part of the whole thing with him, with this incarnation of it.
Yeah.
Because again, I was quite shocked because he comes in. Was it in Infinity War? Not Infinity. Into Civil War, innit?
Civil War, yeah.
His first, and it's like I thought, oh my god, you don't actually get a backstory with him at all. No. He's just there. Yeah. And I thought, oh wow. And it was only when I started watching the other two that you do get the whole stories with them.
Yeah. We didn't need it again. We didn't need it.
No, you don't. And I think that was quite clever. You know, they didn't need to do it. You just brought him in and that was it. Yeah. And he will go on. Has he not signed another three film deal?
I don't think I still think about Resurrection. I'm sorry.
I know you are.
Yeah, that's the power. That's the power of it.
The power.
Just this big red glowing beacon in the middle of the night.
Oh,
wow. I said it interrupted the flight path of several
It got struck by lightning 3 times.
Bradford. They were aiming for a Leeds Bradford. They ended up outside my house. Thinking they were being flagged down.
Oh, yeah.
Next door's neighbour's dogs haven't stopped barking to this day.
The sonic boom bit, the drums.
Oh.
All the panels in the shed in the back garden just went boom, boom, boom. just collapsed. And the other point I was going to make that annoyed me about him is he's a little fucking liar as well, isn't he? How sincere. He's the biggest blagger. Honestly, you can't. I've had a mate like this, and I was going, you can't believe a fucking word he said. And he was so sincere when and it's heartbreaking because it's like the only way we can continue is if nobody knows who I am.
Yeah.
Right. The existence of Peter Parker is going to be wiped. So everyone will know Spider-Man is a thing, but no one will know. Not only are you not going to know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Peter Parker, no one knows him. He's just living in some DOS house. So, and they say he makes this. He promises them so sincerely. She's going, don't you better find us and tell us, and we will remember. Do everything you can to make us remember. And you couldn't be more sincere about it. He barely fucking tried, did he? He walked into that coffee shop. He looked at him, and there was clearly a weird dynamic between them where it was, and that was very understated. It's like she doesn't know, but it's like that deja vu type feeling that was going through her mind. It's like I feel like I should know this person, but who the fuck are you? You know. And I was thinking, go on then, tell her, you knob. You fucking promised your mates, and I know what the whole idea is. His view is that they are far better off and far happier without me being there.
Yeah. But I think the cut on her head sort of starts that train of thought, doesn't it? Because he notices the cut on her head that she has in the battle, and I think he's about to and notices that, and then that's what he thinks. He thinks, well, she had that cut on her head because of me. I'm gonna hold off a bit.
Yeah.
But it's just a bit weak, isn't it? It's like you'd still, and then he sort of he moves into this shithole of a flat, and he
Knew this was coming.
proper shithole, eh?
I knew this was coming. He was so horrified that it was such a shithole.
It was proper dumb. And he moves into there, and it is, isn't it? It's squalor. And
got no money. He's a student.
Yeah.
Got nobody to buy him things now. He's got to. Does he not go back to the old suit as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's not a happy ending.
Penniless.
No.
He's penniless.
Yeah. Broadcast bitch. And
he's literally homeless. Let's put him down. He's scum off the floor. He's homeless.
Subhuman scum.
Scum. But
it's not a happy ending by any stretch.
No,
it's like well, the threat is gone. It never even existed at the start of the film. It's all because of you little prick. So
this is your pittance. This is karma.
Yeah, exactly. You made your bed. We don't even have a bed now, do you? That's how fucked you.
Sleep in the fucking sink.
Sleep on your web. Your man-made web there.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah,
your little cheap-ass web hammock.
Yeah.
And then I mean, it was fucking it was an amazing film. It was absolutely fantastic. As much as I slate it, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And as you're going through it and you see that, I wished I'd gone back and watched the Spider-Mans again, and I said I was going to, and I fucking didn't.
No.
I do still need to go back and watch them, but it was like they put everything into that. It didn't leave anything lacking.
No.
It was like full on. All the scenes. I mean, I've been watching a lot of Tom Holland's stunts when they're making it, and he's fucking good. Like, he does a lot.
That guy, honestly, Tom Holland. I mean, I think the first thing I noticed him would have been, is it? Oh, it's the one with
Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
Is
it called Impossible? Something stupid like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
And how old is he in that film? He's like 10, something like that. And he's
the best thing in it.
Incredible. He literally carries that film. It's, The Impossible.
Yeah.
And that was done in 2012.
Yeah.
So have you seen him in The Devil All the Time?
No, don't think I have.
That's on Netflix. That's where it's Robert Pattinson, Tom Holland, and Tom Holland, but it's a really mature role for him.
Yeah.
And it's a very dark film. It's not an easy watch. Robert Pattinson plays a priest who molests girls and takes advantage of girls. Tom Holland plays a guy who commits murder. Arguably, it was justified, but he basically murders someone and goes on the run. And he ends up in this slack-jawed hick town, and he's basically trying to create a new life for himself. But he's also trying to find. He's got issues. He's got mental health issues, and he has these aggressive outbursts, and he's basically trying to delve into his past whilst being on the run. And it's like I really wanted to watch it. We watched it at the in-laws' house, and both my in-laws made it 30 minutes in and left. And we're like, nah, we don't like this at all. We're going. And Fatima's attention was dwindling, and I was absolutely gripped from start to finish because the performance was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Take everything you know about Tom Holland, scrap it, and watch him in this role, because it's so. I was watching, I was thinking it took me a little while to adjust, because I just saw Spider-Man, right? And I just saw this sort of jovial kid who's a bit sort of happy-go-lucky, bit of a fucking idiot. And but this, it was like it was a glimpse into. It was like watching DiCaprio in Titanic and then watching DiCaprio in name your film from the last 10 years. It was like seeing a glimpse into the future of he looks the same, but the role for him was like, I was like, he's fucking good. Like, he's super versatile. And even Robert Pattinson, and people dismiss him just because of Twilight, even though it was fucking ages ago. He is an absolute. I haven't seen the new Batman yet, but he is a solid actor. Is Robert Pattinson? Have you seen The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe? The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe. Fuck, that's like watching a stage show. There's no plot. It's just two guys in a lighthouse. One of them's been doing it for donkey's years. One of them has come out of the army and don't know what to do with himself. And it's just them two slowly going mental in this lighthouse on this rock, and all they've got to do is maintain this lighthouse for 6 months or whatever it is.
Yeah,
right.
And they both got a bit of a tarnished past, and they both have bad habits, and it's like two personalities that are ready to go pop come together, spend far too much time together, and go pop.
Right.
And it's black and white. And it's fucking hell. Between them two, Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson in that film are unbelievable. And it's one of them where it's so character driven.
Yeah.
If you've got two people who can't perform those roles, it's going to be dog shit.
Yeah.
But honestly, I've never seen anything like it. It was like, this needs to be. I would pay to go to the theatre to watch this on the stage, because
I'm glad you said that it has no plot, because if you were to ask me to describe you what happens in it, I'm not 100% sure.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. But
I thought you said you hadn't seen it.
No, I hadn't seen it when we talked about it last time. I have seen it now.
There's some scenes in that where like when Willem Dafoe, but basically Robert Pattinson sort of flips his lid a bit, and Willem Dafoe's doing some cooking, and he's going, "You're cooking shit. Your cooking is fucking shit. I'm sick of eating this shit." And Willem Dafoe absolutely is devastated that he thinks his cooking is crap. You don't mean that. Surely you don't mean that, sir. Tell me you like my cooking. Tell me you like my cooking, sir, please. He's going to have fucking had enough of this. And they both nearly kill each other over the fact that he's ripped it. But it's not about the cooking. This is
It's just everything else.
Change the word cooking and replace it with whatever you like. This is just the thing that's tipped him over the edge. There's throughout the film, there are a dozen scenes like that where it's them two starting to have an argument that is just like any other argument, and then it just builds and builds and builds and builds, and before you know it, they're both foaming at the mouth, completely nonsensical, jabbering some bollocks to each other. And I don't know how they did it. It's
very claustrophobic as well, isn't it? It's so claustrophobic. You feel like
I might struggle with that. I might struggle with that.
You feel like you've been in that lighthouse for 6 months with them. Well,
yeah. I might struggle with that.
It's phenomenal.
I'll give it a go, but I might struggle.
But it's one of them where Fatima was watching it with me, and she's like, after the first 40 minutes, she wasn't enjoying it at all. And I was like, "Are you not liking this?" She went, "This is just fucking your type of film, innit?" it's like don't watch it as a blockbuster or
no.
That's, and take it for what it is. It's a unique experience of a film.
See, I wanted to talk about it because I mentioned this to Simon before. Is like, when I was asked what my top 5 films are, I automatically sort of went to the big epic films. And I think I might have actually mentioned it last week when we did the show, but I don't, because I think Simon thought one of my top films would have been Hamilton, the musical. Yeah. But Hamilton, the musical, hasn't actually been made into a film. It's only a stage production of it on Disney. And it's one of my favorite musicals. But I love my musicals. And just touching on Andy Garfield, just literally before Spider-Man came out, they released Tick, Tick, Boom, which is a Jonathan Larson musical who did Rent. But the actual film was directed by Lin Miranda Manuel, who wrote Hamilton, and he directed it, which I do think is a bit of a star vehicle. Eventually, he will probably do the film version of Hamilton, and I think he will probably direct it. He'll be too old to play the part, but he'll probably direct it. But when I was asked my top 5 films, I sort of automatically went to the big films. Yeah. And like today, I went and watched Downton, and I really enjoyed it at the cinema. Amazing, loved it. And Simon said he wouldn't even give it the time of day. No. But 5 years ago, I would never in a million years have watched any sort of period drama. Just would never entertain it. And I love things like that now. But there was a film that was on Sky. I'm not sure if it was this year. I think it was the end of last year. It was like a Sky original movie. And it was literally 4 people. 90% of the movie was 4 people in a room. And it's called Mass. You don't really know what Mass means.
That's eventually. It's the one that it's got thingy in from Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's got Jason
Jason Isaacs. Yeah.
Jason Isaac.
He's brilliant. I like Jason Isaacs.
He's not. I'm just trying to find out. Have you seen it, Si?
No. But isn't it like aren't they in one room?
But pretty much, the whole film is in one room.
Yeah.
It's Jason Isaac, Martha Pipton. I think she's married. I think she was something else she is, though. Ann Dowd. Ann Dowd is an incredible actress from Handmaid's Tale.
Right.
And a Reed Birney. You'd know him if you saw pictures of him. But it is an absolute acting masterclass. And again, I'm not too sure. I don't think it was, but that could so easily be a stage production. But I don't think it was. I think it was literally written for the screen. But yeah, it's literally two lots of parents, and it's their story. I don't want to give anything away because
something happens in the past, and they get together for the first time to discuss what's happened.
Discuss what happened, and it's incredible. But it is an absolute acting masterclass. So yeah, again, a phenomenal movie, and would probably be up there in my top 10. But if you ask me, my top 5, I would always go for the big epics, which I suppose is a bit wrong in some ways. But yeah, if you haven't seen that film, I strongly recommend watching it.
I think that leads on to, because we don't go to the cinema as much as we should do, and all these films come out, and you think, yeah, I'd like to see that, but with us, we don't get that much time together anyway. So when we do go to the cinema, it tends to have to be something that we're almost guaranteed to like as soon as we walk through the door.
Yeah, I know.
You don't want to waste the day with an average film, I think.
Yeah, and again, I mean, there are so many films I've seen at the cinema which, if I didn't have that monthly pass, I probably would never have seen it. I wouldn't even probably watched it if it came on Sky, just because. Well, no, probably would eventually. But there's a film.
I will just point out, Stuart keeps saying Sky because he works for Sky.
Why would you say that, Simon? Is it? It's just because we watch things on Sky. Actually, I might be wrong. This film may have probably been off Netflix now. I'm just trying to think. This is me. I can't remember bloody actors' names, and I get.
Well, I think there's if I'm at the cinema and you watch the trailers, I'd say like 4 out of 5 of them, I'm like, I want to see that, but I never do. I never go to the cinema. The only way that I would is if I was paying some kind of subscription where it's like being at a buffet. You better get your fucking money's worth. So,
exactly.
So you overindulge.
I think that
you get to the third week and you realise you've not seen anything, so you go and see anything.
Yeah. Exactly. One part of me wants to eat lobster balls, but I'm going to because it's part of the buffet that I've paid for.
Yeah. I mean, here's a great example. I think it was last year, we went and saw a film called Supernova, which was literally Stanley Tucci, however you pronounce it.
Stanley
Tucci. Tucci, and Colin Farrell, where, again, a film I probably would never have seen, but we went and saw that at the cinema, where basically it's a bit of like a road trip where, give anything away, but one of them is dying. But they're together. They're a gay couple. But again, an incredible film, an incredible, acting thing. But I probably would never have gone and seen that if I didn't have that pass. So, and again, me and my sister have said this. When you go and, I tend to, this is a killer. When I'm here watching a movie, I'll pick this up. And I'll pick it up, probably to go to Internet Movie Database to find something out about the film, go and find out who that actress, what was that person called, or the soundtrack, what's that song? Does it tell us in the synopsis, or where was it filmed? Things like that. And then while you're here, you just accidentally go to Facebook, and then Instagram, and then Twitter, and before you know it, you think, what the fuck is going on in this fucking film?
All the politicians are doing it.
Yeah. So
topical, Ross. Very good.
So if you're at the cinema, you can't touch that. So you tend to watch the film, I think, in a different mind. Yeah. You actually watch it. Yeah. So I think it's a good thing. Definitely. I think we've gone into another 5 episodes, Simon.
Yeah.
I knew we would. I thought there's easy another 2.5 hours here.
You've literally got a month and a half of Stuart now on your podcast.
It was always going to happen to me, man.
Great.
Do you want to do an outro then,
goddamn natural.
Do you want to do
Right.
an outro, Ross?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
go
go
on.
on. Go on then.
Sit back and chill.
No.
You said to do it.
No, I said, do
said
you
were
want
gonna-
to? I said, do you want
No,
to?
I don't want to. No, I want you to.
Okay. So, thanks for joining us on this epic voyage with Stuart to discover his 5 favourite films. How did you find it, Stuart?
Enlightening.
Yeah.
And thoroughly entertaining. Let's put it that way.
I think the scary thing is, obviously, we've not hidden the fact we've already recorded this 6
In a
months
way,
ago.
yeah.
And to say that we've managed to get, I'm guessing 6 episodes out of a repeat of a show, because none of us could remember any of the films that you had in your top 5. Very strange.
Too pissed the last
I think it was
Yeah.
I get this normally when I do the show. I'll set everything up and I'll just turn it all off and I'll go downstairs and say, Charlotte will say, "Oh, what were the favourite films?" And I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I sometimes remember one, but I do.
The films is merely a vehicle.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's something that allows people. It allows people to be more open and relaxed because everybody can name films they like.
Yeah.
It's a fucking ruse, is what it is. We're here to talk about big throbbing dicks.
Everything but films. And just anything to take it down to toilet unit.
Big throbbing films.
Well, that's an outro for you, isn't it?
And you hit play and the windows come through. Bang! Sprinklers go off.
Look, I thought you wanted to go and get some food. You're carrying it on now.
And then somehow it'll be my fault that he's still hungry in about an hour. Dear. So
Right.
thanks for joining us,
I am
Stu.
100%
Yeah,
sure
thanks,
this has
Stuart.
gone longer than last show.
Yeah,
Right. Bye,
absolutely,
guys.
definitely.
Thank you, Stuart. It was
There's
amazing.
a whole episode on. Would you like to take a deal on that, sir, or would you not like to take a deal? That was a whole episode all on its own, which never should have happened. But there you go. We will get you on at some point somehow. We'll find some excuse.
Definitely.
Doctor Strange is out soon as well.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Did you
Oh,
know?
is it
Yeah,
tomorrow?
yeah.
I am literally going to see it at 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Maybe after we've all watched it, we'll do a one-off special. Maybe.
Yeah, too right.
Cool.
Yeah, just to see. But yeah, thanks for doing this, Stu. You were absolutely amazing, of course, and thanks, Ross. You were amazing too with your.
Thank
with
you.
your penis.
Thank you both.
With your erection.
If you can count on anything, it's my erections. Well,
Cut.
like clockwork. Yeah, fade to black.
Bang!